Here's my opinion on Thomas Brown. There's been a lot of talk about Thomas Brown. I've heard everything from Thomas Brown should be the offensive coordinator next year, no matter who their head coach in hire is going to be. I've heard people say, including Adam Hogue, I saw a video from him, that Thomas Brown should take over as the head coach today instead of Matt Eberflus. I've heard that maybe Thomas Brown should be the head coach next year. Maybe you should consider this. All I'm saying is, I've been very happy with Thomas Brown in 2 games. In 2 games, I've been very happy. Let's slow this thing down, guys. Let's slow it down, though. It's 2 games. I love that he's gotten it back on the tracks, and he should be commended for doing it in 2 games. I want everyone who is tweeting this stuff out and who is calling for Thomas Brown to be the long offensive coordinator no matter who they hire or whatever, to check their Twitter in the first year of Matt Eberflus and see if you guys were worried that Luke Getsy was going to leave the nest because he was going to be the next head coach of another team. Remember that conversation? Oh, yeah. Oh no, guys, what are we going to do when Luke Getsy gets away because he's off to a good early start and he's on everyone's hot list for the next head coach? What are we going to do then when Justin succeeds? Remember when everyone said also, Bears fans, check your Twitter for this, we can't let Adam Gase get away. We should be getting rid of John Fox and keeping Adam Gase as our head coach. We can't let Adam Gase get away because he's going to make a great head coach. Remember him in Miami and then remember him with the New York Jets. I'm not telling you that Thomas Brown is going to be those disasters. I'm just telling you it's 2 games and we have no freaking clue, A, if he's going to be a great long-term solution at OC or if he's going to be a good head coach. Also, let's remember Bobby Slowick last year. Bobby Slowick, while we were just talking about C.J. Stroud, was on everyone's hot list to be a head coach after what he did as the OC in year 1 with the Houston Texans. Bobby Slowick probably isn't going to be a head coaching candidate this year. There's even been talk about another guy calling plays for the Texans this year. So he was the hot name as head coach last year after 1 season. A lot of Bears fans wanted him, and now his name is cooled off. These things go like that.
This is how people sport.
And then I also...
The Bears melt brains.
And I have also seen this. Make Thomas Brown the head coach. Thomas Brown, I believe, called plays last year for Carolina for 5 games. He has now called plays for 2 games with the Bears. He's a newbie when it comes to calling plays. Let him carve his craft. 7 games he has called plays. 2 with Caleb Williams. Let him perfect the way he calls plays for Caleb and the Chicago Bears. You want to hand him this crap show where he has to oversee the entire room, where he has to touch special teams, where he has to touch the defense, where he has to... He's already swimming uphill as the offensive coordinator calling plays for the first time, taking over for the hot mess that was Shane Waldron. Why would you want to give him more to bite off than he can chew? Let him continue to get Caleb back and playing good football. That's priority number 1. Don't make him the head coach when things are already going good. If you want to get Matt Eberflus out, that's fine. Make Eric Washington, make John Hoke, make someone else the head coach. But let Thomas Brown, who is an amateur at this point at calling plays, continue to perfect the way he calls plays for Caleb Williams. Let's woo this thing a little bit.
Is there a loud voice out there for people that want to elevate him to different capacities?
I told you that these are the narratives that are being spun, whether it be by a guy like Adam Hogue who wants him to be the head coach and give him a tryout.
To that point, I would say, listen, let him just focus on the offense at this point.
That's the most important thing, getting Caleb going.
Yes.
Don't make him run the team.
Yeah, that would be, it wouldn't be the route I would take. I would focus week to week on trying to improve your young quarterback and nothing more. I think putting the cart before the horse is something that is quite silly. And that's no disrespect meant to Thomas Brown. I think Thomas Brown is the best thing that he has done, in my humble opinion, is he's connected with these players. And you can see in how they execute, how they're playing right now. They're not reinventing the wheel.
I'm not talking down Thomas Brown. I'm talking down let it breathe.
Yes, of course. I mean, like, they ran 9 screens yesterday. 9. And most of them were positive plays because they executed. It's exactly how the Bears try to attack or at least nullify the aggression of Brian Flores last year up in Minneapolis. They're executing better now than they did up there. It's really a good alternative to throwing hot routes, swing routes, and wide receiver screens. And DJ is playing the role of Deebo Samuel in this type of offense. As Caleb said, they're not reinventing stuff. They're just doing things better at this point. And I would suggest to you as well, again, I'm not talking down Thomas Brown in any way, shape, or form. At the end of the Packer game, you got in field goal range, not because of these dynamite plays that anybody was drawing up, because your young quarterback made a play on 3rd and 19 and then made a play on 4th and 3. Your quarterback then set protection and threw a 10-yard out to Keenan Allen. Your quarterback is the reason why you got into field goal range, because most of the time, players are going to be the reason why you win or lose. In this game against the Minnesota Vikings, the score was 27 to 16 with 1:55 left. They had scored 16 points in the first 58 minutes and 5 seconds. And that kid went on an 11-point run over the last minute and 55. Again, I'm not saying that Thomas Brown hasn't had an impact. He has. He's reached these guys. But the reason why you had a chance to win both of these previous 2 games is because your quarterback, who's a rookie, put the team on his back and delivered in crunch time.
Yeah.
That's a bigger reason why you had a chance to win these games. So again, I'm not criticizing. I'm just trying to, bring a little bit of reality here that it is functioning better. The last thing I would want to do is overload anybody in this moment.
That's all I'm saying. Look, this has got to be an extensive full-scale coaching search.
Absolutely.
And you can't limit your coaching search by saying, hey, we're only going to hire a coach who is going to keep Thomas Brown.
No.
Let's see how it goes still.
Yes.
But, if you could get Ben Johnson, if you could get Mike Vrabel, you can't say, look, you got to keep Thomas Brown. No. That is the most Bears thing to do. What would be the most Bears thing to do is limit, again, your pool, because you got to keep an incumbent offensive coordinator when you already mucked up the thing by keeping Eberflus and then hiring Waldron to only get to Thomas Brown to then now not hire the best coaching candidate out there. 312-332-3776. So I'm fired up today. I want to get this right because Bears fans, the headline is, we finally have gold. After all these years of mining, we finally have gold on our hand in the quarterback. We have something special here. Now we've got to make sure we see this through and we take care of it. He's already proven he could get through the worst of the Bears' obstacle course. They're going to give him a bad offensive line. They're going to give him a bad head coach. They're going to give him a bad OC. And he's still going to come through it, and he's still going to show you that he can be a star. If he can get through that, he can get through it all. So now you got to take care of the kid. 312-332-3776. All that coming up next.